America, the land of opportunity, is facing a stark reality. The nation is grappling with an unprecedented surge in homelessness and a relentless influx of migrants. New York City, Chicago, and Los Angeles, once beacons of hope and prosperity, are now bearing the brunt of this crisis. The streets, once bustling with dreams, are now lined with tents and despair. The shelters, intended as temporary havens, are overflowing, with resources stretched thin. This crisis is not simply about numbers, it's about human beings. It's about families torn apart by conflict and poverty. It's about individuals seeking a better life, only to find themselves caught in a system ill-equipped to help. As we delve into the stories of New York City, Chicago, and Los Angeles, we will witness the human cost of this crisis. New York City, the city that never sleeps, is now a city grappling with a crisis of conscience. The arrival of thousands of migrants, many bussed from southern states, has pushed the city's shelter system to its breaking point. The shelter population has swelled to unprecedented levels, with families crammed into overcrowded rooms and individuals forced to sleep on floors. Shelter staff are overwhelmed, struggling to provide adequate food, clothing, and medical care.
The situation is particularly dire for families with children, who are often left without basic necessities and exposed to unsafe conditions. Incidents of violence and theft have been reported, as desperation and frustration boil over.
The situation in New York City is a stark reminder that the migrant and homeless crisis is not just a problem for border states, it is a national crisis that demands a national solution. Chicago, the Windy City, is now facing a different kind of storm, a storm of poverty and despair. The city's homeless population has skyrocketed in recent years, fueled by a lack of affordable housing, rising healthcare costs, and a shortage of mental health services. The city's shelters are overflowing, with many forced to turn away those in need. The streets have become makeshift homes, with tents and cardboard boxes providing meager shelter from the elements.
The crisis in Chicago is a stark reminder of the human cost of inequality and neglect.
Los Angeles, the city of angels, is now grappling with a devilish dilemma. The city, once synonymous with glamour and opportunity, is now home to one of the largest homeless populations in the nation. From the beaches of Santa Monica to the shadows of Hollywood, tents and makeshift shelters line the streets, a stark reminder of the human toll of economic inequality and societal neglect. The crisis in Los Angeles is fueled by a perfect storm of factors: a severe shortage of affordable housing, soaring rents, stagnant wages, and a lack of adequate mental health and addiction services. It is a call to action for leaders at all levels of government to prioritize affordable housing, expand access to healthcare, and create pathways to opportunity for all.
The migrant and homeless crisis engulfing New York City, Chicago, and Los Angeles did not emerge overnight.
It is the culmination of years of policy failures, systemic inequities, and a collective failure to address the root causes of poverty and displacement.
For decades, America has witnessed a shrinking middle class, stagnant wages, and a widening gap between the rich and poor.
The cost of housing has skyrocketed, while access to affordable healthcare and education has become increasingly out of reach for many. Mental health services remain woefully inadequate, leaving countless individuals struggling with untreated conditions.
The crisis we are witnessing is not simply a matter of individual misfortune. It is a symptom of a deeper societal malaise.
The migrant and homeless crisis demands a comprehensive and compassionate response, one that addresses both the immediate needs of those living on the streets and the systemic factors that contribute to homelessness and displacement.
First and foremost, we must invest in affordable housing. The lack of affordable housing is a driving force behind homelessness, and we must prioritize the construction and preservation of housing that is accessible to low and moderate income individuals and families.
Second, we must expand access to healthcare, including mental health and addiction services. Untreated mental health conditions and substance use disorders are major contributors to homelessness, and we must ensure that everyone has access to the care they need.
Third, we must create pathways to opportunity for all Americans, regardless of their background or circumstance. This includes investing in education and job training programs, raising the minimum wage, and providing affordable childcare. By working together, we can create a more just and compassionate society where everyone has the opportunity to thrive.